сам открыть.
А что ты так не вернул?
Опа. Ну сейчас еще.
Немного не налил. Где? Дай попробовать.
Улыбнитесь, у вас скрытая камера.
Не важно, где мы пойдем.
Hello internet, Yulia speaking. It's the middle of the week, the middle of the month, the middle of the holidays, and I'm a complete mess. And so I'm tired of waiting for beginnings of things to start being better. So I'm gonna try start now. Hello internet, Yulia speaking. Coming at you from my disastrous looking bedroom. Feeling very awkward about talking again. Also just insanely stressed about doing anything right now. In slightly more fun news, I got a haircut, if you couldn't tell. It's very nice and short. It looked nicer when it was just styled and like looked all cute and swoopy, but it's not anymore. Still, I really like it. It feels like me. And today is basically me officially getting back into a routine and also just summer is officially over because I need to do an insane amount of errands for going abroad, and then more errands when I'm there, and then the chaos of starting in new places, and I'm already insanely stressed about everything, and I get the feeling it's just gonna get a lot more chaotic. So I'm going to be filming that journey, I guess. Let's hope I don't go crazy. I am kind of slightly dying. There's a pile of paperwork that I'm meant to get through. I still haven't finished packing everything. It's 5 minutes to 1. I have to wake up early in the morning because I wanted to do my nails. And then I'm gonna have to get a taxi to the airport right after that. And I'm freaking out that I'm gonna do something wrong. At least my hair looks good.
Do that mess in your head. Can't do that.
Hey, what's up? Hello. I'm a big old mess and my room is a bigger mess. I am very sleep deprived. My fringe is standing up in very curious ways and my speech is going slightly weird because I've been over Frenching. It's basically the first day that is an actual first day and I've realized that I forgot to put sunblock on. Anyways, yesterday I basically just arrived and walked around in a very sleep deprived state, and then today I had sort of a bunch of talks in a slightly less sleep deprived state, but also still very sleep deprived. Let's count how many times I can say that. Mostly my fault though, because I just can't seem to sleep on time. It's the stress. Also, it is much hotter here than I expected it to be. And that's not been particularly fun. It was actually pretty nice. I am definitely speaking a lot more French than I would have in any other situation. And I've actually managed to somewhat make a friend slash buddy to be lost everywhere with. And I feel like I'm settling relatively quickly, which, you know, was a worry. But there's a lot of like administrative stuff that I haven't really been doing properly yet, but I'll get to that. You know, for now just enjoy these really nice views and sunny weather that you can't feel the heat of. But I can, and I'm dying. For the first time in ages, I actually had time to watch a movie and not really stress about anything, even though there are plenty of things that I should be doing right now. But I'm thinking I should start like a written post or something for all the stuff that I'm discovering about Year Abroad before I forget all of it in the chaos of like the next few weeks slash months, I guess. Because there's actually a lot of stuff that comes to mind as it's happening, but then I don't really think about it once I'm used to it anymore. So I think I'm gonna write some stuff down in my handy little notebook. And also this little evening basically meant that I could chill for a while and now, you know, plan some stuff that needs to be done. Lots of document related things and just like general getting your life together stuff when you like suddenly move somewhere completely different, like how to figure out the laundry and where to get groceries and how to survive for 2 weeks without a bowl or plates or a pot. Really, all I have is a frying pan and some cutlery and a mug. So currently it's been a lot of microwave meals and bread. French people really do love their bread. I'm enjoying these little updates. I think it'll be something good to look back on. And I've decided I really am gonna do that post. Maybe do a handy little map of the places that I discover as well. And I'll put that in the description. Okay.
thì léo thế về để đảo kia nhé này. C'est comme moi quand j'ai fait des natation.
Please ignore how much of a disaster I am, because it's like 11 p.m. and this is literally the worst lighting possible. But I'm gonna talk in a bit more detail about like my experience so far in general, but I just kind of had this moment right now when, well, I want to say everything kind of became very real, but that's kind of happened multiple times recently, and it's not like it hasn't been real previously, like in the rest of the week, but just like today. Maybe it was the kind of sudden overflow of emails and like all of the university stuff starting like working hours again, so suddenly you're just like seeing all of this administrative stuff that you're meant to be doing right now, which you aren't, or at least I'm not yet, and just like a lot of very adulty things hit me in the face a bit today. And it is scary. lost my voice there for a second. But it is scary because I don't like, it's not like something that I've ever experienced before, and it's not that I feel incapable of doing all these things, but like, even when you realistically know you can do something, when it's the first time that you're doing it, is gonna be scary because it's new, you know? And it's also in a foreign language. That doesn't generally help. But I kind of need to realize that I do have a lot of people that could potentially help me out with this if I just like started taking things a step at a time and like actually doing stuff. And I'm not like late by any means yet for any of the things that I'm meant to be doing, but it's just that like certain administrative things, I'm like, as an example, for one of my modules you need to kind of do like a double sign up thing, one with the actual department that it's in, and then one within your like main faculty or whatever. And the reason you need to do that is because there's only like 60 slots for that module, and for example right now I don't know how the process works here and if the buildings are actually open yet, or if I need to have like my student ID before I can go into the building, or before I can sign up, or like even where I'm meant to sign up. And I'm terrified that like because of all these questions I haven't actually gone and like checked yet, and I'm freaking out that like all the spots are gonna be gone and I really want this module. So it's sort of that sort of thing where there's a lot of uncertainty about doing something that's also under a time pressure and a language barrier. But yeah, I guess that's kind of it for now. It's been very rambly, but I'm going to try and do as much as I possibly can tomorrow and ask kind of all the burning questions. Maybe I'll just be at least a tiny step closer to having things sorted before the actual first week of chaos begins. I'm planning on kind of doing this sort of thing in separate little vlogs to kind of have videos of the whole experience. So this one is probably gonna finish right in the middle of my move into my like year-long accommodation, because where I'm at right now is just for these first 2 weeks, and I'm hopefully gonna make it a monthly thing, but we'll see, because realistically I don't know if I'll be like mentally capable of editing while I'm also like in this whole experience. Not because I wouldn't have the time to do it, because let's face it, realistically I would have time for it because I do spend a lot of time doing nothing, but the mental capacity is a completely other story. please ignore this super sweaty state, but a little note on speaking French in France. Some people are really super understanding of your foreigner status and lack of grammatical prowess, especially when in situations that you probably don't even like have any experience with in your own language. Others are not so understanding, and after having a conversation with them, you just kind of go back home having this circling feeling of all the phrases that could have been more polite or nicer phrased, and just go, ugh, that did not go down well with them. But that shouldn't stop you, because of the nice people out there that will be super understanding and repeat things as many times as you need. But yeah, in the good side to both of those endeavors is that I had two big kind of to-dos that I had to do today. That was a lot of T's. And even though both went very differently, I got both of them done, regardless of the language and the communication issues. So I'm very proud of that, to be honest. One of those things that I had to do was actually to get keys for my kind of next, well, I was gonna say apartment, but it's still student accommodation. And now that I've got that, is the perfect time to actually do a little room tour of this one that I've been living in for the past week and a half, going on 2 weeks now. I'm meant to stay here until kind of like tomorrow or Saturday. You can really tell that most people have started arriving by the amount of noise that has appeared. Anyways, but I think I'm gonna move out today just because I want to actually like meet some people and do something nice and chill at the weekend, rather than chaotically moving for what is probably the 4th time this summer. So yeah, I'm making today more difficult for myself so that I don't have to deal with it at the weekend. Wow, the productivity. Okay, so it's kind of all very cramped, so I don't know how much you're gonna see. That is the floor. The entrance with my key strategically placed in the lock. And then in this tiny little corridor towards the room, you have the bathroom, also very small. It is literally a shower cabin on the whole floor. But, you know, it's not the worst, and it's clean. Water does get everywhere when you shower, but you can deal with that. Sink, little shelf. And moving on, you have opposite this wardrobe and stuff, which I haven't actually used because I haven't unpacked completely. And then the actual room is a complete disaster again because I haven't really unpacked, because I know I'm gonna have to repack and move again in a second. But you have the tiny little fridge over there, which I don't know how people are surviving on who like actually live here for the whole year, because that probably fits enough food for like 1 or 2 days. Anyways, then you've got the desk, which is actually really nice and long, which I like, and shelves, a really nice view, which is actually that I also really like because I've never really had a desk that looks out on a window, and my new place also has that, which I'm very excited about. And then the bed, also very disastrous, as in a mess, not because of the bed in particular. And that is pretty much it. That is the extent of the room. Oh my god, finally. Finally I can say no more moving. Truly arrived to the final destination after literally a month of moving around to very temporary places. And quite honestly, I am exhausted, which is probably not the best way to start like the first semester of a year abroad. But what can you do? Also, I just dragged all of that on like a 15-minute walk one time, and then like the second time the rest of it, because like that's a lot of stuff and I couldn't do that all in one time. And a 15-minute walk may seem very short, not when you're basically carrying another you weight-wise. So yeah, I'm a sweaty mess. But I'm really excited to finally like actually get to unpack and figure out where I'm gonna put stuff with this room. I'll put in clips of the little room tour in a second, but just like a couple things right from the start. Like I already know that bed, I'm not sure if you can, like how much this is showing up on my small phone, but I kind of want to put it, instead of like horizontal like that, I mean it would still be horizontal, but I want to put it like at a right angle to the wall, because I just think that's gonna look nicer. And also slightly disappointed at the lack of like a proper work chair, because there's this one that's like with the kitchen table, and then on the other side there's technically meant to be another one, but they've sort of just placed it over here, being like, you can use this for the desk too. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do about that, because realistically I'm gonna be spending a lot of time sitting down at the desk, and I would really rather do that with a good chair. But yeah, I may do some unpacking right now. Is someone getting saved from a like 4-story building? Basically, I'll get back to you because there's a lot of noise and a lot of construction, and I think someone's hoovering in the hole. And I'm also very tired, and I think I may just do the bed and like lie down for a couple hours. I don't know if you can really tell, but there is definitely like a crane over there that was just up in that building, like trying to get something out a window. So interesting start to my stay here.
Fais comme ça, Julia.
When moving into student accommodation, I suggest being prepared for some things you may have taken for granted to be missing, e.g. a toilet seat and a shower curtain. I would also recommend mentioning those things as soon as you get into the place, no matter how exhausted you may be from carrying an enormous amount of suitcases, because French are very specific about their opening hours, and that largely means that no administration will be available during weekends, which is what happens to be tomorrow. So I guess I'm going to have to find somewhere to buy a toilet seat tomorrow on a Saturday. Or constantly run to the other accommodation anytime I need to use the toilet. Not fun. A slightly more general update is that my kind of official integration program of 2 weeks is basically finished today, and it was a super exhausting day. I had 6 hours of French lessons, majority of which were grammar. Not gonna lie, I was slightly falling asleep, and the only thing that kept me from doing so was endlessly doodling on every possible paper-like surface that I had available. I'm gonna show my like progression of notes from these 2 weeks because it is really quite fun in a second. But apart from that, afterwards we had kind of a picnic sort of thing, which actually I was expecting to take around 2 hours and ended up taking significantly more. Actually, it was like scheduled to be 2 hours, but I thought like, probably after an hour, like I'll be done with the socializing and I'll just like sneak away, because realistically it was like more of an informal thing and nobody really cares. But I ended up staying for like around 3 hours, which, like, counting that I'm in a completely new city and I've just moved away from like the hub where all the Erasmus students were staying, and now I'm just like in general student accommodation. Basically all the friends I've made do not live in the same place, so meaning I'd have to walk back alone in the dark in a like new city where I've not done that yet. A note on that though, I felt surprisingly like very safe, which is great. It was 9 p.m. for reference, which is not necessarily like that late. It's not like it was 1 in the morning, but still, like, it's completely dark and I would be walking alone for quite a long distance. But yeah, you can really tell that it's a student town because there's literally so many people still out, regardless of most places, well no, basically all places being closed at this point. And comparing to like 2 weeks ago, the contrast is striking. Like, clearly loads of people in this city are students. Like, I wouldn't say majority, because that's not true, but like an enormous amount are. And clearly majority of them leave for the summer, assuming because they all live in like different parts of France or like anywhere in the world. So it's weird that suddenly like this weekend and like the past 3 days or so, the town literally got so much busier. But back to the picnic. It was like a really weird but nice contrast to the first day that everyone arrived and we had like a breakfast pause chat thing. Basically we'd just done our placement tests and it was time to, like, they basically just served some croissants and like pain au chocolat and like drinks and stuff, and it was just like standing around and socializing. The awkwardness of that first meeting where everyone is in a crowd together was like such a contrast to having spent 2 weeks with these people and now going on a picnic, and literally like I felt like I was talking to so many people, and like I've kind of developed a sort of circle of ones that I talk to, but like other people kept coming every once in a while, sort of like acquaintances, but it was still really fun. And we actually played games, and it was not awkward in the slightest, and I laughed a lot. And I'm starting to realize that it kind of really sucks that literally none of these people are going to be in my degree course or anything. Not even my faculty, really. But yeah, it was weird to just get used to like the people that you sit next to in class, and like little inside jokes, and like, I don't know, sharing pens every once in a while and doodling random things and giggling behind the teacher's back. I just know, just like random things that you sort of get used to, and it's weird that it's kind of like done now. Like, I'm essentially going to be starting over, but I'm not really like thinking of that as a bad thing, because I do have contact details for, well, not all of these people that I met that are really nice, but for many of them I do. And like, I genuinely feel that the 2 weeks that I came here early, although super stressful in their own way and extremely exhausting, which is not, like, exhausted is probably not the way you want to start a new term, but at the same time I did meet so many people. I'm much calmer when it comes to like French in general, as like switching your mind to a different language and like asking for things, which like I still obviously get nervous about, but it's becoming more of like the normal, slightly antisocial, awkward about situations nerves, rather than like the added issue of a language barrier. I think that's basically it. I'm very sweaty. It was a long day. I need to do laundry, but that's not happening now because it's very late. I probably will shower without a shower curtain, which is gonna make a mess. But it's so awfully hot that I can't stand it. Like, I've been showering so much more often here because I literally, it's too hot and I don't have any proper summer clothes. Like, I'm in actual long jeans right now that do not have any breathing room, and it's like 31 degrees outside Celsius. I've not unpacked yet. I don't know if I'm gonna do that today. I probably won't do that today, realistically. And I'm gonna go back to a few clips of this weekend, and that is essentially going to be it for my chaotic August. And then September is when the actual uni life begins. Not gonna lie, I'm actually positively excited for it. We'll see. Maybe Strasbourg is finally growing on me.
Climate change and scarcity of resources.
Installing a toilet seat is not something I ever thought of myself doing, but here we are. But honestly, like, thank God for IKEA because it has been saving me. I now have a shower curtain and a shower hook thingy that actually makes my shower stay upright, unlike the one which was here previously, because like what is that? What are you showering? The wall? I don't understand how anyone thought that was a good idea. But anyways, the reason why IKEA is really saving me is because all of their stuff is like removable at the end, because obviously I can't like screw anything into the wall because it's not permanent. But yeah, this is going interesting. So far I have dropped those things into the toilet and have had to fish them out. So that's been fun. Wish me luck. Ooh, success! I did it. I'm finally suitcase free. They're all hidden up in this curtained cupboard situation that I have going on. Of course, there's still like a lot more to get done. Literally all of that is still a disaster, and so is my kitchen table. But it's the 1st of September, so I'm gonna be ending this vlog and starting another one. I hope you've enjoyed watching my very chaotic preparation for going abroad and then the actual first few weeks of it in the midst of my slightly losing my mind. Next week is gonna be the kind of welcome week sort of thing where I get my modules sorted and kind of little admin things here and there figured out. Also, hopefully I'm going to finally get my boxes with the rest of my stuff, because I have been surviving off of mostly junk food for the past like 3 weeks probably, and Not gonna lie, it feels really disgusting in my mouth at this point. Also, I'm gonna have to figure out the cooking situation because it is sort of disappointing that there is neither a microwave nor an oven, and realistically I'm not going to invest in something like that for only a year, but we'll see. There is like a hob and everything, so I'm sure I'll survive as soon as I get my pots at least. And the kettle. My kettle is coming. I need it for tea. The weather also finally cooled down a tiny bit because there was a pretty big storm last night, and now it's actually like fresh and breezy, and I'm very much enjoying the possibility of opening the windows entirely. Literally, I've never lived somewhere where the windows were like right on top of the desk. I feel like it may get annoying once I tried to actually like put stuff on the desk that I'll be using every day, but we'll see how that goes. I also don't want to overdo it with the decorating because like I already have a lot of stuff from what is probably 4 years in the UK now, and then that's gonna be another year of gathering more stuff here, and then another big move back to the UK for final year. And knowing how chaotic this was, not sure I want to go through that again. But at the same time, like, even though this room is much bigger than pretty much anywhere I've stayed the past 4 years, there's actually not that much storage space. Like, you just have this cupboard, which is like a nice, like a good size for a cupboard, but it doesn't have any like shelves on the inside for clothes or like a dresser or anything. You just have these kind of open ones over there, and there's also no bookshelves and just one kitchen cabinet. Oh, and the bathroom is a disaster with like the amount of stuff that I have. Literally, it's just, be warned, I am slightly obsessed with all things skincare, so this is a bit disastrous. Yeah, I'm not coping with the amount of space given. So I think I may get like a small kind of stand thing, like a plastic one from IKEA, hopefully for super cheap, so I can at least put away some stuff that I don't obviously use on a daily basis, because I'm not that kind of maniac. Like, I don't use all of this every single day. Yeah, so lots of stuff still to get sorted, and next month is probably gonna be where I'm actually settling down and kind of getting into the rhythm of things, which is very exciting. I am actually really much more excited than scared at this point, which I wasn't expecting from myself. But, you know, pleasant surprise. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and I am hopefully making this a monthly thing, so as long as I hold myself accountable, there will be another video soon. And I'm writing up a whole post sort of thing about tips for year abroad things and just general experiences. So as soon as I have that up, I will put a link in the description. So if it's not there yet, I'm sorry. I haven't done it yet. Okay, bye.